Kaylee, how did you go from selling high resolution printers to your storied career in eDiscovery?
I had a really interesting start similarly with computers and technology. I was always fascinated by it. In the late 80s, one of my friends said this startup company, LaserMaster, has this high tech card for HP printers that can make the resolution really high, and they're looking for somebody like you. So I went and interviewed, and it was so much fun to help build that company, build out the technology. They went on to do digital, the big, large format printers. They sent me all over the world. I was, out of all the employees, I think there was like 100 men and 2 women, and I got sent because the two do different events, trade shows, handle all their major clients, because they taught me how to set up the digital large format printer. And then I could actually do demos and print it. And everybody back then, late 80s, early 90s, was like, oh my gosh, that's miraculous. A woman can do that. And I had so much fun. I went from there, and I had 2 kids, and I didn't want to travel, 2 young children, didn't want to travel like that anymore. And so I got hired at then IKON. And that was such a great job, an opportunity for me, truly. The IKON, when I started there, it was the biggest printer copier, that kind of a dealership in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. That was the year that IKON went and bought up all the big copiers and merged in different cities the 2 shops together. So at that time, they bought the company I was with and another huge company, merged it together, and with no blueprint. So it would go great if you had good leadership who planned properly, and it went terribly in other parts of the country where there was just no blueprint. It made the news. It was the largest merger at the time of 2 companies in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And so I got to run one of their largest divisions. And it was a masterclass from our leadership. We spent a year going through DISC training and understanding people's personalities and why we were different and how we needed to talk to this person in that way, building together with this merged company value statements and mission statements that we all, the leadership team, created together. It was a masterclass. I learned so much. And from there, I took some time off to raise my kids. And in 2000, I think it was 10, I wanted to go back to work. And it was at a time when the job market was not great. But a lot of my IKON friends, now Ricoh, were like, come back here. We've got this opening in legal services. And my sister is a senior litigation paralegal, and she was like, do it. I'll teach you what you need to know. And I took it, and it was really nice. Ricoh really invested in their employees. And at the time, David Greetham was my boss's boss. Mm-hmm. And he came into town and he was like, Kaylee, you sell the forensic services, his Remlocks device, which is brilliant. I'm still a huge fan of, because he who has the data wins. And that was sincerely very true. And I got all kinds of training. I got my certified eDiscovery specialist certification. And then I got recruited by a global eDiscovery platform called ZyLAB, based out of Amsterdam. And I was encouraged by the leadership at Ricoh at the time to take that job and fly like the wind. And so that's where I met Mary, the queen of eDiscovery. All right. And we just had an absolute blast. I dragged Mary all over the country for different presentations. I was a regional director for Women in eDiscovery and the president of the Twin Cities Women in eDiscovery chapter. And Mary came out very kindly in the winter.
In Minneapolis, man, there is nothing like
it. It makes you feel alive when it's 30 below, I'll tell you that.